The gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. McHenry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Clearly increasing accountability is necessary. I mean, that goes without saying. And, consumer protection goes with that increased transparency and accountability. Ms. Berger, for nonprofits which conduct financial literacy, credit, or housing counseling on behalf of the CFPA or any government agency, what degree of accountability and transparency should we require of them?
I think that there should be transparency for them as well. And one of the things that suggested in my testimony was the whole issue about compensation for frontline workers as well. Because one of the things that we've discovered over the last number of months that we've been really looking at what the impact of the credit crisis on our members has been that frontline workers are often compensated at such a low base pay that the only way that they can survive and pay and support their families is to try to exceed their quotas and be paid by bonuses. And the bonuses actually encourage them to push products that are unfair, unsustainable for working families. And we think that one of the things that we should look at within this bill is a way of really looking at compensation reform on the front, not only at the top of the financial industry, but at the bottom of the financial industry as well.
Okay, so those that are providing credit counseling, for instance, on the front lines, you have concerns about their pay. And the question I have is, with these recent revelations about ACORN, do you think they should be precluded from being a participant in the CFPA program? We
think that there should be, as is being done right now, a thorough investigation of ACORN. I think that they have an independent investigator right now, and that we should make that decision afterwards. I do think that there should be total transparency for any nonprofit that would be getting federal dollars to provide counseling.
Yeah. Do you think the failure in ACORN, from your analysis, is that a failure of pay?
I have not been part of the analysis of ACORN. I think that ACORN, as an organization over the years, has done a lot of great work in low-income communities. There's an investigation going on right now. We should make sure that any violation should never take place in the future.
Okay. As of today, the U.S. Census Bureau, the IRS, and even Bank of America have severed ties with ACORN. And according to actually the day before yesterday's report from the Chicago Sun-Times, the SEIU has given ACORN $4 million. Could you clarify to me the extent of your financial and programmatic ties to ACORN?
SEIU has also cut all ties to ACORN. And
they have?
We have. And in Illinois, I believe that I'm correct, that the ACORN institution, the consumer protection, the community organization in Illinois cut its ties to ACORN 2 years ago. And so in Illinois, there was no ties in the last 2 years between any SEIU work and ACORN. Okay.
What was the extent of your financial ties with ACORN?
I will get that information for you for the record.
Because in Illinois, for instance, there was a tie based on location, even the fact that there were email addresses that were shared on your websites for the other organization.
My understanding is that in Illinois, their offices happen to be next door to each other, not cohabitated. But I will get that information for you.
Okay. Thank you. In the same building is, I think, what it was, a different floor of the same building. Mr. John, in terms of the larger issue of the CFPA, can you regulate consumer protection from financial institutions without a safety and soundness mission as a part of that?
No. When it comes right down to it, if you don't focus on the safety and soundness aspects of products and proposed regulations of those products, you are very likely to find a situation where a practice is encouraged which may actually be to the detriment of the financial institution and therefore to the customer.
Thank you. I yield back.